Welcome back to the channel, Knife Sports Adventures here. Today we are doing a quick disassembly video of the Heretic Cleric II. Nice OTF here. I'm going to disarm the blade. We're just going to do this quick because these knives are typically very easy to disassemble. So this one has a T6 bolt here underneath the trigger. It is smaller and shorter than the other bolts. So I'll get that one out first. It will go into the magnetic tray so I don't lose anything because this is a very expensive knife. The other bolts on here are T8s. So switching over to my T8. If you remember, the last Heretic I did was the Manticore X. It had some really cool things about the disassembly that made it a lot easier. I will see if this one does the same. A little bit of thread locker on that bolt. Here are the mid knife bolts. A little bit of thread locker on there too. That's nice to see, some attention to detail. And I am not sure on the back half of the knife which of these bolts is going to be the ones that actually hold things together. Because on the back of the knife, we've got two sets of bolts, one going in from this side and one going in from this side. I'm going to try these first. Have not disassembled this yet. The last Heretic I did was so easy, I wasn't afraid to wait until I did it on camera for the first time. We will see if that goes well. One really cool detail I want to point out about Heretic knives is that they are so well fit together, they actually have an air hole back in the back of the knife here, so that as you close the blade, the air pressure doesn't build up and keep the blade from closing. That, my friends, is what you call a well-built knife. Attention to detail so that you don't have any weirdness. There is the inside. Trigger's a little different on this one. You can see this is kind of a captured deal, right? There's a bolt there that I'm going to take out. It appears to be a T6. So this allows you to precisely tension how tight that trigger is. And it is thread lockered in there pretty good, so be careful when you take this one out. I'm taking it out because I want to see if this is, there's a little spring there, don't lose that. I want to see if this is running on bearings like other Heretics that I have. Okay, so this one is not running on bearings inside the slide there. I'm going to go ahead and put that right back together because we've already seen what we need to see there and I don't want to lose anything. There we go. Got it threaded back in. Okay, so it is on a spacer, so even if you tighten it good, it's not going to over tighten it. It still slides freely. Here is the spring plate. You can see that bolt goes down into a hole in the spring plate, which is pretty cool. That spring popped off of there. There's the plate. There's the stop pin. And just like other Heretic knives, the locks are captured. So it's a little unusual because you got one lock on this side, one lock on the other side. That's a bit different from other OTF knives I have had, but still pretty cool. Nothing dangerous or low quality about that. Locks and springs are nice and captured. That is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful knife. Beautiful, easy disassembly. I am going to slide it back together. Here is my stop pin again going back in. Now my spring plate did come apart, so I'm going to fix that. It popped on just like this. A little bit of a stretch to get it back on there. And there we go. It goes back in like so. There it is, all slid back together. And my screws can go back in. Here's the T6. And then I move to my T8s. And then once these two are in, I will check the action and then I'll put the last two in. There's my mid-knife screws. Slide it all the way back in. Action is perfect. So this is what I was talking about with the pocket clip. That little shelf there, that ledge of aluminum, means that you can't just swap for a normal pocket clip. There are some that are made to fit. Also some from a zero tolerance knife that you have to drill out a little bit, like drill where that would go in there, and then they will fit. So a bit more work. That saves you about 20 bucks on the price of the pocket clip, or more. So there is the Heretic Cleric II, disassembled and reassembled and ready to go.